Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA0993341. It's broadcasting live on Joy 99.7 FM, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliate across the country on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. This news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, proudly Ghanaian. Telesol, just a touch. And UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, let's go. Also, Mac Auto Parts Ghana, distributors of Isuzu pickups and Chevy cars. Mac Ghana, with you all the long run. Coming up, police in the northern region arrest suspended member of the governing NPP after he led attacks on the Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO.
This morning, I was told that Baba Al-Hassan was picked up and he's been brought to the police headquarters here. He's currently in the commander's office together with the regional CID.
We'll hear from them live after they released 4 others shortly after arresting them. Meanwhile, the region remains without a health director for 6 months after he was also chased out of office.
But there's a history to these chasing out and things like that. Even Dr. Nsiesa himself, when he was there, there was this same thing.
Government task force opened shops of Nigerian traders at Swami in the Ashanti region, where local traders there clashed and locked up shops of their Nigerian counterparts.
Yes, retail business. You need foreigners and say, you know, but only say, you never say the mayor is more money.
We'll get an update of an ongoing meeting between the two and government task force to resolve the impasse. Also coming up, government experts kick against Parliament's Finance Committee's decision to query directors of defunct banks in camera. We'll hear from them as well as some Ghanaians.
They are using taxpayers' money to bail them out. So I think it is important that especially Parliament that represents the people should be much open to the people.
All Ghanaians, we all have an interest in what is happening. We don't want any fishy investigation.
And in 21, I join you with sports as Ghana's delegation dialogue with top FIFA officials in Zurich today. The Ghana League Clubs Association also want to meet President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo about looming FIFA ban on Ghana football.
And later on Tech Thursday today, we ask how much time do you spend on the internet? We'll tell you about an internet addiction disorder which is catching up with 40% of the country's people. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Let's settle for the details now. Police in the northern region has arrested suspended member of the governing NPP, Baba Al-Hassan, after he led the attacks on the Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO, David Zaumia Akolbila. Dr. Akolbila was on Monday chased out allegedly by members of the NPP vigilante group Kandahar Boys, who accuse him of misappropriation of funds, among others. This arrest comes barely 24 hours after 4 persons were arrested and subsequently released. We will be speaking to the PRO of the Northern Regional Police Command, Yusuf Tanko, shortly. But first, listen to Baba Al-Hassan speaking to my colleague Martina Bugri shortly after their attack on the CEO.
It won't be the last and it won't be the first time again, because we, the youth, we go with truth and we always make sure that truth will prevail. Any other person that the president will nominate or appoint to head this facility and that person is not correct, I swear heaven and earth, we will come back. We will come back and sack that person.
That is Baba Al-Hassan, the man who led the attack on the CEO, who we also know has now been arrested by the police. Let's go live and speak to the PRO of the Northern Regional Police Command, Yusuf Tanko. Sir, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Now, you've finally been able to arrest Baba Al-Hassan. What are the charges being leveled against him?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners. This morning, we managed to arrest Baba Al-Hassan from his house. And currently he is being cautioned by investigators. And we are looking at offensive conduct, we are looking at unlawful entry, and we are also looking at assault for now. Maybe some charges might come later. Okay.
Should we expect more arrests because the attack was obviously not carried out by one person?
Sure. We are still taking some leads and we are trying various means by which we can get the other perpetrators arrested. But for now, their leader, who is Baba Alhassan, who organized them and orchestrated the whole act, has been arrested, and I think that is very key. That notwithstanding, we have to look for the rest and arrest them as well.
If you say we have to, are you looking for them, or are you know that you have to, but whether or not you're doing it is another?
You remember yesterday we went to Abu Abu and arrested 4 persons, and those persons were released because we didn't have any evidence against them. That gives you an indication that we are looking for all the members who partook in the act to arrest them, for them to assist us in our investigations.
So you established yesterday that the 4 you arrested, there was absolutely no evidence upon which you could prosecute them further. But why? On what basis did you arrest them in the first place?
We had intelligence that pointed to the fact that some of those who perpetrated the act at the hospital were Kandahar members. And as much as we tried, we couldn't locate their homes. So what we needed to do was to try and run up as many as Kandahar guys that we can, so that we screen through them and see if we can get the suspects we are looking for among those picked. But unfortunately for us, after picking them and screening them, we didn't find any. We even contacted the hospital authorities, who also came to see if they could help us identify, but they also couldn't find any of the persons who invaded the hospital among those we arrested. So we had no reason to further keep them. That's why we allowed them to go.
DSP Tanko, thank you very much. Are there any timelines within which you're looking to press these charges against Baba Alhassan?
He is currently being cautioned by investigators. So after that, a decision will be taken.
Okay, thank you very much. DSP Yusuf Tanko there, he speaks for the Northern Region Police Command. My colleague Martina Bugri also joins me on the line for an update on the situation at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, as health professionals have refused to call off their strike. We know also that today the anesthetic department joined in the protest. Martina, how is the situation like today?
It's still same. You go there, there's no one to attend to you. And so most people have decided to go to other satellite hospitals that are in the metropolis. So you have the West Hospital, you have the regional hospital, which we refer to as the Tamale Central Hospital, and then the SDA Hospital. These are hospitals very close to the Tamale Teaching Hospital. And so when people come to the teaching hospital and there's nobody to attend to them, they decide to go to any of these hospitals.
Martina, I don't know if you've spoken to any of the health workers there, but now that the spokesperson for the group that actually attacked the CEO has been arrested, do we know if that will make them call off the strike?
The arrest it just took place. It's not up to 3 hours, and so we are unable to tell. But I'm sure that if it's communicated to them, they will rescind their decision, or probably they would take a decision on what to do next.
So as we speak, patients are still stranded at the hospital?
As at the time I was leaving the hospital, yes. And what was happening was the chiefs and opinion leaders of the metropolis had come and they were meeting the leadership of the hospital at their common hall.
Okay. Martina Bugri there, our Northern Regional correspondent. Let's stay a little longer in the Northern Region, because Joy News is learning that the Northern Region for 6 months has been without a health director. Well, he was also chased out of office by a similar vigilante group. Here is Health Minister Kwekwaji Menu, who says he has cut short his tour in the Central Region to attend to the situation in Tamale.
The Ghana Health Service Council and the Director General dealt with that matter. Apparently, Dr. Kwashin left the place before I got to know about the situation. I sought for a report from the Director General that was sent to me. Even yesterday, I was inquiring from the Director General. He says to me that Dr. Kwashin is being reposted to the head office, Ghana Health Service, to work there. Apparently, Dr. Kwashin is not even ready to get back to the place. But there's a history to these chasing out and things like that. Even Dr. Nsiesar himself, when he was there, there was this same thing, and he caused the arrest of about 3 people who were at that time even jailed for about 3 months each before he left there for Kumasi. So this isn't just something that is just happening.
Why is it continuing?
It has been there.
Why is it continuing?
It can beat anybody's imagination. It looks like, and I'm not very pretty sure, it looks like there are some people in Tamale that should not be touched. There are some groups in Tamale that will want to enforce their minds, what they think that they are going to do. So it is up to us to see how this situation can be handled. Because of this issue, I scheduled myself to commission 10 of these polyclinics in Central Region alone here. But I want to cut my tour short, so after today, I have to get back for Tamale.
You're going to Tamale?
I'm going to Tamale tomorrow late afternoon.
Health Minister Kwekwa Menu speaking to my colleague Seth Kwame Boateng. A government task force comprising BNI, National Security, Immigration and GRA officials have opened the shops of Nigerian traders at Swame in the Ashanti region. Last week, local traders there clashed and locked up shops of their Nigerian counterparts who they accuse of engaging in retail trade in violation of the country's laws. Police have unsuccessfully attempted to resolve the impasse between the two, compelling government to set up the task force to intervene. Take a listen to some Ghanaian traders speaking on the matter.
They have really helped us. When they came, they didn't employ Nigerians but employed Ghanaians to work in their shops. What Kuta is saying is also good. They should bring the goods for the Ghanaians to sell. But our Ghanaian traders don't pay back when the Nigerians give them the products.
We don't have issues with them. All we're saying is that they must apply the laws. We've locked the shops now, pending the outcome of the meeting. They must work with the laws. What we're saying is that they have taken over the entire place. If we don't take care, they'll sack all of us from Swame in 2 to 3 years. They should bring the things and go.
You heard some traders in Swame there. Some governance experts have kicked against Parliament Finance Committee's decision to query directors of defunct banks in camera, describing it as a needless waste of time. The committee is scheduled to hold the hearings next month in camera, but already there are fears a public probe could further dampen public confidence because of more revelations of wrongdoing. Head of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at the Center for Democratic Development CDD, Dr. Kojo Asante, and Executive Director of Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs ASEPA, Dr. Rashid Draman, are of the view a public hearing will rather build confidence in the financial sector.
If Parliament is going to hold this hearing in camera, then they shouldn't do it, because I think that would be a waste of time. They can leave it to the Bank of Ghana and Yoko and all the others that are doing investigations. Because, you see, this is a very a serious issue and of serious public interest. You know, sometimes when you want to purge a system, you need to go through these kinds of processes. Yes, it's not pleasant, but that is also another way of restoring public confidence, so that at least the public at a certain popular level know that people are being held accountable, people are being asked to answer questions. If Parliament is going to do this, they should really think very seriously and do a good job.
If there's any matter that affects a huge majority of Ghanaians in the very recent past, I think it has been the collapse of these banks. So Parliament should do us a big favor by making sure that this matter is discussed in the public domain so that all of us can follow. Honestly, my brother, I think we have to be serious in this country. These banks, directors have decided to flout the rules. The Bank of Ghana to not do its work properly, and then somebody saying that this is sensitive. I think the sensitivity of it is the fact that all have to know what is happening at every point in time going forward from now.
Dr. Kojo Asante of the CDD and Dr. Rashid Draman of ASEPA there. Well, some Ghanaians on the street of Accra who spoke to Joy News agree that the hearing must be held in public.
Well, I think that it should be done open. because you know that our constitution, that's 1992 constitution, calls for accountability. And you know, these things, the capital, all these banks that were, that the Bank of Ghana is taking up, they are using state funds, they are using taxpayers' money to bail them out. So I think it is important that the Bank of Ghana, especially Parliament that represents the people, should be much open to the people.
I believe I support them if they do it behind closed doors, because there is no essence and there's no reason why they should bring it out. Okay, they are executives, they have been taking their decisions behind closed doors, and I don't think they should do it openly. It's a waste of resource. We know about the story, we know about what is happening. All that we need is a solution. We don't want anyone to be victimized because of this.
All Ghanaians, we all have an interest in what is happening. Since we have our money in bank, and everybody has an interest in what is happening, so it should be open so that we know what is going on. We don't want any fishy investigation. That one, people will be covering something up, and we don't want like that. It should be open.
If everything is done behind closed doors, it will mean that there's something they are hiding from their constituents. So personally, I think it should be done on open camera so that there will be nothing hidden.
Some Ghanaians on their thoughts on a public parliamentary probe into the collapse of those banks. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM, on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Stories gone by. Government task force opens shops of Nigerian traders at Swami in the Ashanti region, where local traders there clashed and locked up shops of their Nigerian counterparts. Take a quick break. When I return, we'll tell you on Tech Thursday today how much time you spend on the internet and how about 40% of Ghanaians seem to have an internet addiction.
That is a sweet sound of excellence. That is the sound from Mack. Yes, Mack Ghana is the #1 distributor of the world's best quality Isuzu and Chevrolet vehicles in Ghana. Isuzu trucks from 1.5 tons to heavy-duty vehicles. Isuzu buses from 15 to 33 seaters, double and single cabin pickup, available in automatic and manual transmissions. We also stock a wide range of Chevy cars, from SUVs, sedans, and small cars, fully loaded with exquisite specifications. All our range of vehicles stand out due to its high fuel efficiency, safety, luxury, spacious interior, world-class delivery, and after-sales servicing. What's more, we offer flexible payment terms to meet your pockets. Mack Ghana is the sole distributor for Isuzu trucks and pickups, as well as all range of Chevrolet cars in Ghana. Call us on 0302-813-919 in Accra or 0242-039-550 in Kumasi. Visit our website, mackghana.com. Mack Ghana, with you for the long run.
You're welcome back to the Midday News Live on Joy 99.7 FM, and Benedict Owusu is here with sports.
Yes, Gifty, and the Ghana League Clubs Association, that's GALCA, wants to meet President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo over looming FIFA ban on Ghana football. Now, top government officials are currently in Zurich deliberating with FIFA and on the best possible way to solve the impasse. Now, as we await for the outcome of that meeting, the club's body, that's GALCA, also want to meet government here. And here's Odro Safo, a representative of Brickham Chelsea.
We are going to government to tell them government should to have a to impose the restructure, the reforms in the hands of the football people. When we say GALCA is about football people, they should entrust it into our hands. We are many, only few are found in that capacity. So we are going to tell government, we support government, and we think government should give it to us for us to do. And then we are going to beg government also to withdraw the case from courts. That's why we're going there.
All right, so that's Odro Safo. We definitely will monitor that situation. The meeting between the top government officials and FIFA officials in Zurich, and update our listeners in our subsequent bulletins.
Certainly worth monitoring and updating our listeners on that. Now, away from that, Joy News share the story about the plight of the people of Mafe Akukokbo, who, for lack of a safe source of water, literally drink mud. Almost all the residents of the community would gulp down very dirty water fetched from a small pool. It was a source we christened the world's dirtiest.
Residents here, old and young, men and women on daily basis, walk for some 15 minutes to get to the nearest water source. This is how the water looks like. Unclean, brownish, muddy, as thick as porridge. Sticks and tree branches lie in them with bubbles brewing all over it.
Well, that is the story. Well, following after we share the story on our electronic and social media platforms, the DCE for the area, Thomas Moore Zonua, has pledged to provide the people with tap water.
We awarded a contract for a borehole to be drilled for the village. Unfortunately, the rig couldn't access the place. The road is also bad and muddy. After assessing the place that the truck cannot go there, we procured a polytank for the community and even awarded the road to be constructed there for at least a water tanker can send water there. Unfortunately, the place is so muddy that the equipment couldn't work on the road. So when we get to the dry season, the grader will cut the road to the place first. We send a polytank, which we have already procured for them.
DCE for Central Tong, Thomas Moore Zonua. It's a tale of two wells. Two communities in the Chifuhiman Lower Dintra districts share their stories, while one share the pain of not having water to the extent that pregnant women who visit the Chips compound use a nearby bush as a place of convenience. The other community shares the pain of having abundant water. Richard Kojonyako has today's agenda.
This is the Chips compound at Ankako in the Chifuhiman Lower Dintra district. This facility serves a population of about 4,000.
During delivery, we don't have water here, so it's very difficult for people to come here and deliver. Sometimes a woman will come in and she's feeling uncomfortable. You have to tell her to wash down. But because there is no bathhouse, they don't even try to come. They have to use the bushes because there is no washrooms around.
Stella Kwanson is a staff midwife here at the facility. She reveals how scary the situation is, especially during deliveries because there is no water. Stella and her colleagues have to carry gallons of water to a nearby community before their client can be served. Nanajiman is a community health nurse here.
There is no source of water around here. The ones here are in the bush. And looking at the distance, walking from here to the bush to go get water every morning, afternoon, evening, man, it ain't easy.
In the same district, water gushes out of a water system, like how water springs from a fountain. The water system was built for the community nearly 30 years ago, but in the last 5 years, it has malfunctioned. The water has been let loose and can't be tamed by the community. Michael Frederick Asari is the assemblyman for Bukru Betimore communities.
We went for a mechanic through Ghana Water. So he came here, but you could see that because of the iron bar, they have to use electricity. And you know, electricity can never go with water. So when he make an attempt of maintain the whole thing, then he had a shock of the work he is doing. Yes, he abandoned the work. That's why you can see it as it is now.
Does it cost the community anything, or you fear that a time will come that we will not have water flowing like this?
We have that fear.
District Chief Executive for Chifuhiman Lower Dintra, Emmanuel Kojonana, says the Assembly has an intervention for these two communities.
We have already spoken with Community Water and Sanitation. If they are not going to help us now, the Assembly is going to take it upon itself to construct that kind of reservoir to ensure that they keep on enjoying the water, because you shouldn't be going out like that. We are going to construct boreholes for them. It is part of our plan for the year, the rest of the year.
For now, until the intervention from the Assembly arrives, clients who visit the Ankako Chips compound will continue to bath outside, while pregnant women and other patients continue to defecate in the open because there are no washroom facilities for them. In the Bukru community, the water will keep flowing till the end of time if the intervention promised is not delivered. Richard Kojonyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
And here in the studio, I am Gifty Ando Apia. Now, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is blaming the Finance Ministry for its inability to pay compensation to some farmers whose birds were destroyed as a result of bird flu in 2016. According to the 2016 Auditor General's report, as of December 2016, 37 farmers whose poultry farms and farm products were destroyed between May and October 2015 had not been paid a total compensation of 1.4 million cedis. Deputy Agric Minister George Odro said after the outbreak, his ministry wrote to the Finance Ministry for 11 million cedis to compensate the farmers, but the ministry released only 7 million cedis. Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is at the committee's hearing and joins us on the line. Hello, Joseph. What else has come up at the park sitting?
So the main concern was that the inability to pay the compensation did not encourage farmers to come out with revelations when their farms are attacked. And so the committee made the point to the officials of the Agric Ministry that when they've agreed to pay the compensation, the necessary steps need to be taken in order to get the money released to them. There were also issues about something in the region of 300,000 cedis, which had been money that had been spent at the ministry without the necessary receipts. That the Auditor General again raised with the ministry officials once again indicated that steps had been taken to recover some of the amount, and they would ensure that going forward such issues are not repeated.
Joseph Opoku-Gakpo coming to us live from Parliament. Now, on Tech Thursday, a study by Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has found 40% of Ghanaians are likely to develop internet addiction disorder. We know the internet is arguably the greatest invention of the 21st century, with far-reaching impacts on society and its people. But the dangers cannot equally be overlooked, especially as many of us spend nearly 16 hours of the day on the internet. On Tech Thursday today, Love FM's Kwesi Deborah explores this frightening statistic and speaks with lead author of the research, Dr. Maria Ajele-Kone.
Dr. Maria Kone sought to establish the relationship between internet addiction disorder and depression among Ghanaians. As part of the final year thesis, she interviewed 162 active internet users of 25 years average on 2 social media platforms, Twitter and Facebook.
The people who answered the survey were from about 18 to 45 years old, and it seemed about 22.3% of the people who answered the survey admitted to be depressed based on the scale that was given. And using the internet addiction scale, it looked like 3.7% of them actually had an internet addiction disorder, and 40.7% of them had problematic, means that they could tip towards the scale of having an internet addiction disorder if measures were not put in place.
Dr. Maria Kone recommends extensive research in Africa to properly address the situation. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
And talking about how much time we spend on the internet, Mapito Sabidi has been doing a lot. You do probably more than 16 hours.
Yes, I do.
What's trending?
Yeah, okay, so Bullets is trending, and at Makoni one says, it's awful if those artists who performed at Ebony's tribute concert took money, but if they didn't, then Bullets is a wicked man for not telling Ebony's father the truth. But at Braboga says, so Bullets say Inobi handwriting that, well, he should bring his notebooks, VAR must work. And the last tweet is from at Culture11, who says, we hope it's fake because this is so disgusting.
So that is what's trending on social media. Mapito Sabidi, thank you so much. Our top stories this hour: police in the northern region arrest suspended member of the governing NPP after he led the attacks on the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Also, government task force opens shops of Nigerian traders at Suame in the Ashanti region, where local traders there clashed and locked up shops of their Nigerian counterparts. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Many thanks for your time.